This episode was dropping bombs from left to right and I loved every minute of it. But we better get the same type of energy for the season finale. I want to be left with my jaw dropped and my heart in my, you know. Getting straight into it, I want to do something I've never done when recapping this first season of All American, and that start off with Amara and all the things she's been going through. They have been building my girl storyline up from the beginning of the season, and now that we are one episode from the finale, they are going hard on her, and it's just too much, okay? First thing first, I must talk about this mug shot situation that someone exposed of her because I'm livid about it. So come to find out, that mug shot being sent around is hella old, like 15 years old. And it was taken when she was a sophomore in college. But everyone is acting like the lady got arrested yesterday or something, and it's so irritating because she has been a professor at Princeton for years. So if the administrators and board of trustees were so concerned how they claim they are, she wouldn't have been hired in the first place. Yet now they want to use that as an excuse and means to get rid of her. But at this point, I am confused as to why she hasn't sued them, because it's not their fault that they didn't do a thorough background check. Matter of fact, they could have done a background check and let it go, as they should, being that she had reasonable cause for her arrest. And beyond that, it was 15 years ago. Like, my God. Now what really got me was I'm over here rooting for Amara to give them folks a fight and run for their money. But she was ready to give up, which I understand because she's been through so much. But still, ugh. Anyways, she decided to put in a resignation letter because she was just tired of defending herself. Now y'all, this fool Marcus had the audacity to think the personal issues Amara has with him also plays a part in her leaving. Like, sir, what is wrong with you? You are nowhere near that lady's mind right now. Go away. She's over here fighting demons and you done made it about you. That is so sick, okay? But moving on from him, Amara eventually let everyone know where the mugshot came from. And basically, she got arrested with this girl, Jada, she went to school with, who worked at a medical center that was, charging black patients a huge amount of money for unnecessary procedures. And of course, Amara, being a die-hard journalist she is, wanted to write a story on it, but needed evidence. So her and Jada broke into the medical center, which in my personal opinion was a little, too far. But in my journalistic opinion, they did the right thing. But the people found out about the break-in. So Amara and Jada got arrested and charged with multiple felonies. As they should have. Because, they had no business doing that. Even though it was for a good reason. They still had it right. But they were able to get off after the president of the school in the medical center made a deal that Amara would drop the story and her and Jada would take a semester off from school, which they did. But after that semester, Amara went back the next semester and Jada didn't go back to school at all. And apparently Jada had a rough time because of it. Granted, I don't know what that means and what happened with her. Now, I must admit that was very badass of Amara. But because of that situation, Amara feels bad that she didn't go through with the story, being that she wanted to avoid prison time. But it's like, Amara, you were a young adult and made the right decision. Yes, the people that was affected by the medical center didn't get their just due. But I don't think she should be so hard on herself for not going with the story. Like, baby, you avoided prison for a long time. Okay? I really hate that she feels like she doesn't deserve recognition and the accolades she's been receiving as a journalist because of something that happened 15 years ago. That, by the way, would have made her an award-winning journalist, if we're being honest. Now, one part of me feels like Amara needs to leave Princeton because they are holding her down and she can be so far gone by now if she worked for a publication or hell for herself. But the lady loves that university, and because of that, the other part of me wants her to stay and fight. So it's just so many mixed emotions with this whole situation involving her. But eventually she finds out that the person that has this personal vendetta towards her happens to be Jada's older sister, who is now on the board of trustees at the university. And it makes so much sense why the higher ups bet on her neck. Well, to be honest, it doesn't make that much sense because this is clearly a personal situation that Amara doesn't even know about because she is so confused on why the lady is out to get her. But I am pretty sure it had something to do with Jada and, you know, the outcome of her not going back to school. And if so, that's not fair because Jada was the one to go to Amara and everything they did was together. So I don't know why the older sister is beefing with Amara. But I guess at least I hope we find out in the finale. I don't know, but baby, this is getting good because the sister just looks mean. So I know she's about to let Amara have it if Amara confronts her. But all I know is Amara better put her foot down and boss up. Now, before I move on to Simone, I just have to bring up how when Amara was telling her story to Nate, Keisha, Simone, and Marcus, Nate had this same little one tear he had in the last episode just rolling down his face. Now, I don't think the story was that serious. Yes, a bit emotional, but not one tear Nate emotional. But baby, Nate is clearly shooting for an Oscar, okay? And I ain't mad at you. But moving along, Simone. The one who knows how to boil my blood. So in this episode, Jordan is back in town. And I don't know why, but seeing him made me so excited. But I was hoping he was there to lead Simone. Because to be honest, it's about that time. Now, she was the one to call Jordan and ask him to come in town because she was missing him. When really, her feelings for Damon was starting to show. But the thing is, as soon as Jordan got there, the first thing she goes to say is, oh, I know this isn't, you know, the visit, you visit, or something like that. So I already knew she was about to once again put someone before Jordan. Now, granted, this time, it was her aunt. But to be honest, her aunt didn't want anything from Simone. It was all her personal doing. So, I mean, she had no excuse to not make time for Jordan. And at this point, he needs to stop coming to see her. And she needs to go and visit him. Because every time that man come around, it's some BS going on. And baby, who got time for that, baby? I'm flying from LA to Atlanta and you just always got something going on. I can't even spend time with you. It's a mess. But like I said, she only wanted Jordan to come because she was feeling bad. And she told him how she went home with Damon and how she felt like they were emotionally entangled in a way that wasn't respectful to Jordan. Like, girl, Simone, duh. Everyone knew that, including Jordan, which is why he didn't want you all up under Damon. But you continuously kept it up, trying to hide it as a friendship, when really you was low-key falling for him, being disrespectful to your relationship, playing like you're so naive when you knew exactly what you were feeling. Girl, bye. Now, for some reason, as soon as Jordan came, I kept saying to myself that something about Jordan and Simone relationship is so off to me now. Like, I'm not invested as I used to be or how I want to be. And it had nothing to do with Simone emotionally cheating with with Damon, because she been doing that and I still felt like her and Jordan was good. But this time, it was off. And towards the end of the episode, Simone kind of alluded to it, which I am glad that she did admit that things, you know, were off between the two of them. But it's the fact that her ass feels some way because Jordan isn't getting all angry at her, how she expects him to when she tells him something involving Damon. And it's like, girl, at this point, he has wasted all his energy telling you how he don't care for Damon. What more do you want from him? Especially if you are not going to listen. But more importantly, what the hell is happening over there in the, you know, original All-American that Jordan is on cloud nine, baby? He was just in a whole nother zone, but you know. But hey, I said it before and I continue to say it until it happens. They need to break up. They gave it a good fight, but you know, their time is up. But moving on from the Simone debacle, let's get into Damon, because baby, this episode was a Damon takeover. He was on top of his game, not only on the baseball field, but in his everyday life as well. And I love that for him. I also want to throw out there that the moment Simone isn't in the picture with Damon, he's out here being Superman. So maybe she is the, you know, his kryptonite and he needs to stay away from her. Now, of course, in the last few episodes, if we bring up Damon, we also have to bring up JR, because the two is connected at this point as far as storylines go. With that being said, last episode, Damon's dad brought up how he might know JR's mom. So Damon wants JR to ask his mom if he knows of Damon's dad. And JR told him straight up, no. And I think JR is dead ass wrong because he acts like that's going to cause so much chaos. Like, boy, please. All the damage has been done with your family if we are being honest. So you asking your mom isn't going to do nothing but help Damon with his family issues. Hell, maybe she needs something to distract her anyways. Now that was my first thoughts. But then I thought about it even more. And to be honest, JR family issues is a big deal. And him adding on to the problems, at least at this moment, while everything is fresh, would be a bit much. So I do have to respect the fact that JR is looking out for his mom in the divorce process she is going through. Because she does already have, too much on her plate. So that whole who is Damon's real parent situation is, at a standstill. But I know as soon as they get back to it, more and more secrets will be exposed. And I cannot wait because it is always something. Now, in this episode, Coach Marcus was hosting the first annual HBCU highlight game, where basically all these athletes from HBCUs come to a combine style workout to get chose to be a part of a baseball game. But no spot is guaranteed, of course. So Damon is introduced to this guy Orlando, who is like a superstar pitcher for another HBCU. So of course Damon wants to be cool with the dude since they both play the same position or whatnot. But one thing about Damon, my guy do not know how to read the room at all. Because the guy Orlando was not fond of Damon at all. But Damon was confused on why homeboy had so much animosity towards him. Well, come to find out, the boy was mad that Damon decided to play HBCU ball and not go straight into the pros, MLB. Which is weird because why are you so worried about the decisions he is making for himself? But then the boy brings up because Damon skipped out on the pros and went to Princeton, Damon took his full ride pitcher spot from him. And Orlando family is basically legacy at Princeton and he wanted to keep it going. But Damon kind of messed all that up. But I mean, that isn't Damon's fault. So he needs to direct that energy elsewhere. The hell? Don't come from my homeboy. I at least wish this personal one-sided beef Orlando have with Damon would have made him look cool and like, a hot shot player. But it made him look so corny because he would try to antagonize Damon. And at one point he called Damon a super Negro, sir. Like what? Where did that even come from? And what does that even mean? But you know what? I'm proud of Damon because he didn't let it get to him and showcase his leadership skills by doing this little motivational speech and, telling homeboy he need to chill out. And I was so happy at that moment because, child, Damon has come a long way. He's come a long way. Now, along with Damon showing how he can be, the bigger person and give out motivational speeches or whatnot, he became, I would say, one of the most likable characters in and of this season when he came to Thea's rescue. Hopefully he don't mess it up because Damon will mess it up in the last episode. So, of course, at this point in time, we know that Thea is in this new dating stage of hers. And she is still learning things because she really isn't a dating person. But as of late, she's been dating this dude that her grandma set her up with. Now, they've been kicking it for a little minute. And, of course, she's becoming comfortable around him. And this lame bum creep of a dude tried to take advantage of her when she got a little tipsy. When I say my heart dropped for Thea, like, I hated seeing that situation so much. And I wanted to jump through the screen and beat his ass. But I didn't need to because Damon was around to save Thea. And Lord knows I was so relieved. I feel like Thea go through so much already mentally. And this is just another thing to add to her plate. Man, I feel so bad for her because she is now traumatized for the rest of her life. No one deserves that. Now it's going to take even longer for her to let her guard down moving forward. And I know bringing up what I'm about to say may not be the right time, but after this incident, I just know they are trying to set us up for the possibility of Damon and Thea building a real, girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. I have been saying this since episode 1 and I am sticking to it. And it's going to be more of a possibility because by Damon coming in to protect her makes him the only person she can trust at this time. But those are just, you know, my thoughts. So we shall see. So before I end my recap, I want to bring up how Coach Marcus has been taking his bipolar pills, but decides that he doesn't want to take them anymore, knowing they have been keeping him afloat. So moving forward, I just know he is going to be off his mother and rocker. And that's going to cause problems with the baseball team, problems they don't even need. And I'm already aggravated just thinking about it. And nothing happened yet. Just the thought of it. It's just, pissing me off. But overall, I am so excited for the season finale. I just don't want to get my hopes up because I feel like they are going to start off real slow and pop off at the end. But I think there is so much that needs to be exposed and established. So if they do the slow route, I'm going to be pretty upset. I really am. But that's all I have to say. I hope you all enjoy my recap. And if you have thoughts, you already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts and let's discuss what you thought of this episode and what you think is going to happen on the season finale, baby. Because a lot of things are about to go down and be exposed, okay? And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the kingdom, baby. Bye.